Okay, it's officially 7 p.m. Eastern. I would like to welcome everybody to the Preppers Net. This is Red Bear. I will be your net control. At this time, I'll give a rundown of who we have registered, and then I will go ahead and take other people that would like to get registered for the net. Outside of myself and Montana Jim, I have Damage, Tater Chip, and Cookie Bun, all here in Michigan, all monitoring only. Donna, I've got you if you're in there. TC, Music Man. So with that, for the next person that would like to register, I just need your username and what state you are currently in. If you would like to monitor only when you're registering, please just let me know that. We will not bother you anymore. For first caller that would like to register, please go ahead. Okay, we'll do one more quick check here. Do we have anybody else that would like to register for the PrepNet tonight? Please go ahead.
Res Dog is in here.
Hey, Res Dog, welcome in. Can you remind me, sir, what state are you in?
Oklahoma.
Yes, sir, we got you down in Oklahoma. I thought that was it. Do we have anybody else that would like to register for the net tonight? Please go ahead. Okay, for everybody that is registered, I'd like to welcome you into the PrepNet. Tonight's topic will be medical needs, part 1. With that, Montana Jim, welcome in, sir.
Thank you, Red Bear, and everybody else out there. Before we get going with tonight's thing, I want to start with a announcement tonight. We have a new feature that we added to our YouTube channel. We've added another playlist, which will have custom music videos and music trailers talking about prepping. The playlist is called PrepNet Music Videos, and they are mainly for entertainment. And hopefully those who watch them will be inspired to watch the expanded presentation topic. There will not be a music video for every or trailer for every expanded presentation, but many have multiple parts. But there might be one for video for every main topic that we cover. And no doubt I will make some standalone ones that are just on prepping in general, like the first one, which is called Ready for Tomorrow. Let me break. The video description will contain the lyrics of the songs and a link to the appropriate expanded presentation that the song is sort of based on, if any. And that is also displayed at the end of each video. All the music, lyrics, and graphics are original to our YouTube channel. I don't know how often the new videos are going to be posted, but check the playlist every now and then, or subscribe to the channel to see if any new ones are there. And I'm trying to present many different genres of music, so I hope there'll be something for everyone. Just sort of a fun thing I came across and decided I kind of like to do this. You have to have a little bit of fun every now and then. Now, for tonight's new topic break. As Redber said, Medical Preparedness for Preppers, Part 1. Supplies, equipment, training, and building a capable medical team. Disclaimer. Please be aware that this series on medical preparedness may include topics or descriptions that some listeners may find uncomfortable. This presentation is for educational and preparedness purposes only and not medical advice. We will not go into graphic detail, but we will mention topics and areas you may want to research further as part of your own preparedness planning. Medical procedures should only be performed by properly trained individuals operating within their level of knowledge, skill, and legal authority. In a real emergency, seek professional medical care whenever possible. Great. One of the most overlooked realities of emergency preparedness is that injuries, illnesses, and medical emergencies do not stop during disasters. In fact, they often become more common. Many people spend large amounts of money on food, water, generators, and firearms, but have only a tiny first aid kit and almost no medical training. In a true emergency, the ability to stop bleeding, prevent infection, manage pain, stabilize injuries, or care for sick family members may become more valuable than almost any other preparedness skill and is as important as what we discussed in our sanitation topic. Medical preparedness is not just about buying supplies. Right. It involves training, planning, sanitation, communication, organization, and building relationships with medically skilled people before an emergency happens. Because this is a large and important topic, we will cover it over multiple presentations, starting with foundational first aid skills and supplies before moving into more advanced medical preparedness topics. We will discuss basic first aid supplies and skills, advanced first aid and trauma preparedness, higher level medical equipment and training, long-term care considerations, medical planning for groups and communities, and the importance of having trained medical personnel in your preparedness group. Great. Preparedness medical care is different from normal day-to-day health care. Under normal conditions, an ambulance may arrive in minutes. Emergency rooms are available, pharmacies are stocked, and hospitals have specialists, laboratory testing, imaging equipment, oxygen systems, and large staffs. During a disaster, those systems may become overloaded or unavailable. You may have to care for injuries longer than normal. Treat problems before professional help arrives, and manage illness when pharmacies are closed. Preparedness medicine focuses heavily on prevention, stabilization, and buying time. The best medical emergency is the one that never happens. Great. The most effective medical preparedness tool is reducing the chance of injury or illness in the first place. Many emergency injuries come from falls, chainsaw accidents, and exposure to heat or cold. Basic prevention measures include wearing protective equipment, using gloves and eye protection, and maintaining sanitation. Good hygiene alone can prevent massive numbers of illnesses. Historically, poor sanitation and disease have killed more people during disasters and wars than combat itself. Medical gear without training can create a false sense of security. A person with advanced equipment but no knowledge may panic or misuse supplies during a crisis. Even basic training dramatically improves outcomes. Great. At a minimum, every prepper should consider basic first aid, CPR, and bleeding control training. Hands-on training matters. Reading about tourniquets is not the same as applying one under stress. Watching videos about CPR is not the same as practicing compressions. Skills degrade over time, so regular refresher training is important. Let's start with part one of the basic first aid supplies topic, where we will begin with foundational skills and supplies before gradually moving on to more advanced preparedness topics later on in the series. Great. Every household, vehicle, and bug-out bag should contain a basic first aid kit. The basic first aid kits are designed to handle common injuries and stabilize problems until additional care is available. A well-rounded basic kit may include adhesive bandages in multiple sizes, gauze pads, rolled gauze, medical tape, elastic bandages, antiseptic wipes, and antibiotic ointment. You should also maintain spare prescription medications, spare eyeglasses, and denture supplies. Great. Medical kits should be inspected regularly because medications expire, adhesive dries out, batteries die, and sterile packaging can become damaged. Organization becomes critical during emergencies. A giant box full of random supplies wastes time and increases stress. Medical gear should be clearly labeled, waterproof when possible, stored by category, easy to access, and portable if evacuation becomes necessary. Some people organize supplies into categories such as bleeding control, medications, and burns. Color coding and labeling can help less experienced people quickly locate supplies during emergencies. Right. Please watch the expanded presentation on our YouTube channel for a better understanding and more information on this topic at youtube.com/@prepnet-talk2me. In fact, many of the lists I provided here are expanded in the YouTube presentation. And there's a lot of pictures and such. Next week, we'll continue with part 2 of medical preparedness for preppers. As usual, if you have any questions about what we've discussed here or anything about prepping, please ask during the roundtable. Or you can send your question, any question, to prepnetch14@gmail.com and enter question in the subject line. With that, I'll send it back to Net Control.
Thanks a lot, Jim. Thank you very much. This is going to be a very, very good topic. I can tell that right now. I'm very excited about this. We're going to do a fast check, though, see if we have any latecomers. If you would like to register for the net, please go ahead and call now. Okay, for those that did register, once again, I'd like to welcome you in. We're going to go ahead and start with the roundtable. We'll start with Donna in Montana. Hey, Donna, how you doing? And what do you think of the topic so far? Do you have any questions or any comments?
Good evening. I am doing very well, thank you. And yeah, I think this is a very important topic. And just a couple of comments. When I was doing research on medical kits or first aid kits for cats, let me take a quick break. One of the things they recommend for cats if they get dehydrated and they're not drinking, and even for dogs as well, is unflavored Pedialyte that you can get in the baby department of most stores. And it's, with all the electrolytes, it's very good for them. And just be aware, though, that it has a 2-year shelf limit if unopened. But if it is opened, it's only got a couple of days before it goes bad.
That's good to know. Thank you very much, Donna. Yeah, I just kind of looked at damage. We did not know that, and we're avid animal lovers. We got 3 dogs in the house, and we do have a barn cat as well. So that is good to know. Thank you very much, Donna. We'll go ahead and keep moving on down the list. We got TC in South Louisiana. Good evening, TC. How are you? And what do you think of the topic so far? Do you have any questions or any comments, sir?
Yeah, it's good over here, but I'm gonna go back to a little bit of history since we're talking about such a topic. It kind of
TC, I think we lost you, buddy. Are you still there?
Hey, can you hear me now?
There we go. Welcome back, TC. Go ahead, brother.
Yep, don't know what happened. My radio cut out on me. But what I was going to say was going back in history a little bit, looking back at the first aid and sanitation. Back in the 1800s, James Garfield was the president, and he was shot at a train station. Okay, so basically, if we had common day first aid ideals like we do now, he would have survived because that shot wasn't that bad. But the surgeons and the doctors, they used a whole bunch. They used unsterilized hands and unsterilized instruments and tools. So the 2-inch gunshot wound turned into a wound you can fit your whole fist in. So just knowing how to store your tools and supplies, that helps you a lot, because you want to make sure you're using clean hands and clean tools. Otherwise, it'll get bad. From a simple injury that's not gonna bother you, it'll turn the tables.
That's very true, TC. That is very true. Back then, your doctor wasn't much better, in all honesty, than your local butcher when it come to taking care of wounds like a bullet wound like that, So definitely, man, that's scary to think about. And again, I'm going to stress, just like Jim said, yes, we have those capabilities nowadays. He would have survived, but just because we have those capabilities, we need the training to go along with that, or somebody in our group that definitely has that training. That would be huge. Let me break real quick. Hey, thanks again, TC. I'm going to check really quick before we continue on down the list. Music Man, you will be next, sir. But do we have anybody else that would like to register tonight? If so, please go ahead. All right. Hey, Music Man in Virginia, sir. What's your thoughts on tonight's topic? And also, how are you doing this week? One more try for Music Man. Music Man, are you still with us, sir? All right, we will come back to Music Man. Res Dog in Oklahoma. Welcome in, sir. And again, I enjoyed the net this last Thursday. Thank you very much for that. What'd you think about tonight's topic and everything we have going on with medical preparedness? And also, would you give us an update with your net, sir?
Okay, very good. Yes, good topic. Enjoying the net here. Yeah, I try to keep first aids in my cabin, the RV, and all that kind of stuff. And you never be too prepared for anything. You got to always over prepare. That way there you got it covered. But most of the time I'm under prepared. It's just a minor first aid kit that probably wouldn't handle anything major, but most of the minor stuff it would. But good topic, and yeah, I'm glad you came to the Res Chat Net. For those that are ham operator, the Res Chat conference on Echolink and Res Chat All-Star 55101 Thursday nights at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. We have a net there, and we do a little Native American history and just talk about whatever. Usually the net control operator has a nice topic about medical plants, remedies and stuff like that. So last week was on the willow tree. Let me reset. But for those who are hams, come on over to the Res Chat. You can also get it on Fireside on Echolink. You can get it on 11 Cats on Echolink. And I'm not sure what their all-star numbers are, but there's a million ways to connect in to the ResChat net. But anyhow, I'm enjoying the net, and this is a good topic, as well as last week's topic there. So I'm learning a little bit of stuff there, and kind of curious on other people, what they have to have the input. That's how you learn, is by everybody putting their input in. I don't really have much of input on this subject because I'm not a very medical type guy or what have you, but just being prepared is the main thing, where you can just basically handle yourself until you can get first responders or something there. Is very, very important, especially when you're out in the boonies and so on there, where you could have extended hours for sure. But anyhow, great net. Glad to be here. Let me throw it back over to you.
Hey, thanks a lot, Res Dog. Definitely glad you're here too, sir. So appreciate you showing up to these nets, and can't wait till this coming Thursday's net as well. So we will definitely be there. Jim, we'll go ahead and flip it over to you real quick. See if you have any questions for anybody or any comments. Go ahead, Jim. The floor is yours, sir.
Okay, Red Bear, yeah, I took notes like I always do. And, well, let's just start here. Don actually brought up a pretty interesting thing I didn't think about. And it's not covered in any of this this is going to be 4 parts. Medical kits for your pets. Or if you have animals, say like TC does down there on the farm, that's something to think about. It really is. There's so much to this whole prepping thing, which is sort of the reason why we did this, is that most people don't think about all of the different possibilities. So our whole point here was to try and just get you thinking, and if it works for you, then maybe you can do something. And let me break real quick. And something she brought up about, I think she called it the Pedialyte, which was, for the dehydration, that the shelf life was 2 years, but once you opened it, you only had a couple of days. Sometimes getting items that will have unopened a much longer shelf life than once you open it is better to get in smaller sizes. Even though you might be able to get the big bottle a little bit cheaper, you might end up finding you're going to have to throw most of it away. So sometimes it's actually better to buy the small. And this goes for anything, but this was just a good point about the medical supplies. Let me break. Okay, TC is talking about the sanitation, and yes, historically we have made massive improvements in what can be done. But there's a little caution here, and looking back to history is really, really important, is that's with all the modern medical stuff. And as, ResDog said, you're out there in the middle of nowhere, you're not going to have the ambulance, even if one is even going to get there, arrive in 10 minutes, if you're used to the city. So we're going to have to be able to stabilize for much longer periods of time than, say, somebody, would be in New York City or San Francisco or something, where the response time is going to be much, much, much quicker. Let me break again. And and sort of ResDog said, he was underprepared. I can tell you, unless you are a doctor, we are all underprepared for this. We're just doing the best we can, and hopefully we can throw out some stuff. But as a firefighter, any kind of training, medical or whatever wise, that you can get, that you can continue to practice, because yes, you do lose it. It's a use it or lose it type thing. And when things start going and the adrenaline going, you need to try, and as with anything in prepping, you need to revert to muscle memory and not have to think, well, what am I going to do? Where am I going to get it? All that needs to be known ahead of time. And actually, some of that just brings in, some of those videos sort of cover a little bit of the music ones. Let me break again. And the amount of medical stuff and training you need is a way lot more than what you think. By the time we get through with this thing, you're going to wonder, I could spend all day for months and months and still not get this. So getting good buddies with an RN, even a vet, a doctor, a EMT, get them on your side is not a bad thing at all. And just one more thing, we will be covering more advanced training. Again, we don't do how-tos. We do broach the subject, and if that hits your fancy, you can do more research and find out, what other type of, where you can get that training, whether you want to take it, et cetera, et cetera. So with that, that's about all I have down on my list that my little brain wrote down, so we'll throw it back.
Thanks a lot, Jim. We'll go ahead and make one final call to see if we have anybody else out there that would like to register for the net. If so, please go ahead. Okay. For those that did register for the net, do we have any comments or questions for Jim? If so, please go ahead. And Jim, I've actually got an idea on Donna's comment about the Pedialyte and getting what quantity to get. But does anybody else have any other comments or questions tonight? Please go ahead.
Yeah, I just thought of one thing. I've always thought of that. So think of a community, okay? Like in this community of prepping, like y'all are all on the same page. Y'all know we're going somewhere. So if one's a farmer, one's a doctor, one's a vet, one's a plumber, one's an electrician, like maybe the farmer needs the vet to come over and treat a wound on a pig, and if the vet comes over and helps, that's trading goods for services. Maybe that farmer will return like some food because the vet needs food, because that's back and forth during prepping. That's all about communication and helping each other. Equal trades. Well, not necessarily equal trades, but you can get something to benefit everybody.
That's a very good statement right there, If I come over to your house as the farmer and I treat your pig as me being the vet, and I keep that pig in good health for you, well, as you're raising that pig when it goes for slaughter, maybe I can get some of that meat because we've both worked on keeping that pig taken care of. You never know. Like you said, there's ways to barter like that. Definitely, TC. That is a very good statement, sir. Do we have any other comments or questions? If so, please go ahead.
One more thing. And yeah, what if neither of us know how to butcher? Which in reality I do, but say neither of us did. Well, we get the butcher, and then he gets some too. All right, I'll leave the floor open now.
You're just having too much fun with us, TC, but you got a good point, buddy. You really do. Do we have any other comments or questions tonight? If so, please go ahead.
I just have another quick comment regarding the Pedialyte. I'm just doing a quick Google search, and I did find some in powder form, although I cannot find any unflavored powder, so I'm going to keep looking. So that might be an option, especially for people.
Very true. That's not a bad idea, Donna. And also with the 2-year shelf life of the liquid form, Jim is recommending keeping smaller quantities, which would make sense. So you're throwing out less if it expires on you, So myself, though, buying the bigger sized portions of it, trying to keep a bulk around before it expires. If, heaven forbid, thank goodness I haven't had to use it, you know, maybe give it to the dogs for a treat just to get them used to it so they can enjoy it. You know what I mean? So they want it. So, in a case of an emergency and there's dehydration with my dog, they're ready to take it.
That's a good idea. But and speaking of that, if you wanted to try giving it to your dog, how freezing it in like little ice cube trays and seeing if they would lick it.
I like both of those ideas.
The same here. Damage just spoke up, Donna, and said, yeah, because all of our dogs love ice. It doesn't matter what time of year either. They will chase it across the floor, licking it, biting it, barking. It's a special treat to them. Just a cube of ice. But all right, we'll check one more time. Do we have any other comments, questions about tonight's topic? If so, please go ahead. All right, we'll throw it back to you, Jim. I know you've got a few more things to say, most likely, sir.
Oh, just a couple of generals. One on GC about, what if he didn't know how to butcher, and such. And that's again sort of the reason. And if we bring up all this stuff, you can sort of pick and choose which things do I need to either learn how to do, or at the very least, at least get the documentation or the book or, instruction manual, whatever, on how to do something like that. And have that, as it's there if you need it. Some of us, that's not going to be high on our list because of our situation. Others, that would be high on the list. As, like I said, everybody's plans are different based on what your situation is. So what you need to have with you, what you need to learn, etc., is that. And Red Bear, that's a pretty good use of sort of rotating something that is about to expire. And without having some, I would be interested to actually try freeze drying it. I have to look and see what its contents were, because remember, the modern freeze drying stuff that we have now is based on military need for plasma and medicines during World War II. So that could possibly be another way of extending that, unless you could find a commercially available powder that would work for the situation. But let me break. So in anything prepping, anytime you can get something like Pedialyte is actually for, I think, children, maybe old folks like me. But anything you can get that has more than one use, that can be used for many things, the better off you are. And things that you can identify that have dual use or multiple uses, those are the things you should prioritize on, because now you've got one item that can do many different things. And then you can, after you get that done, you can concentrate on other things. Other than that, I don't think I have anything. It's a good round table. All these little things that come out, like Res Dog said, we all have something to contribute, and it might be something that we not had thought of. So this is just really a good way, and I appreciate everybody's participation. I'll throw it back to Red Bear.
Yep, I think you drive a very strong point there, Jim. The participation is a very big thing. It helps drive the net, and it helps us all to learn. So Donna brought up the Pedialyte tonight, and look at the conversation that's caused. So, and I'm learning things as well tonight. So, looking at the first aid kit, I've honestly never thought of, hey, maybe I should try to store some medications and things for the house as well, because you never know. So, very good point. I have never thought of that one, and I'm very ashamed. Let me break real quick. So, yeah, we're going to be learning a lot here, definitely. We'll go ahead and turn it back for one last little turn of the round table here. See if we have any other comments or questions tonight. If so, please go ahead.
Okay, I'm just going to say something real quick about a little bit what you said there. Uh, yeah, you're just with anything, the medical supplies need to be inspected because things can go bad. Again, on anything, you don't want to go out and buy something, put it in a drawer, never even try it. And then when things hit the fan, oh, I got that, and you bring it out, you don't know how to use it, something's gone wrong with it, the batteries went dead, you know, all your adhesive bandages, you bought thousands of adhesive bandages, and they've all lost their sticky, their adhesive to it, which they do. So yeah, it's a good point. You need to look at that stuff and everything. So, but anyway, I don't want to keep flapping on.
You're good, Jim. You're definitely driving things home, and we're definitely learning some things from the conversation here. So thank you very much, sir. Really appreciate it. Before we wrap it up, guys, I'll remind you to please go check out ResDogs Net this coming Thursday night. Also, tomorrow night on Channel 6, the Ham and GMRS channel, I'll be hosting another net over there. That'll be the Radio Shed net, live from the Bear Cave. That'll be at 7 p.m. Eastern also. Hope to see you all there for that one. Let me break real fast here. We'll just do a quick check to see if anybody else has any announcements as well before we shut the net down. If so, please go ahead with your announcements.
Hey, TC here. I'd like to say on the night of August 1st, I believe that's, what, today's the 26th? Yeah, about 6 days, I think. Yeah, that's right. In 6 days, I'll be hosting a trivia on this platform, Talk2Me. It'll be on channel 28, titled the Events Channel. It's going to be a lot of fun. I just got general genre trivia. And channel 28, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Come join us.
Copy that. Channel 28, the announcement channel for TC's Trivia Net, August 1st at 7 p.m. Eastern. Thanks a lot, TC. Really appreciate it. And good luck with that one, buddy. I'm going to try to get there as well. So, at this time, do we have any other announcements? If so, please go ahead. Okay. If you do think of any comments or questions that you may get throughout the week, we do have our email that you can send those to. That is prepnetch14@gmail.com. Again, that is prepnetch14@gmail.com. Also, please go check out our YouTube channel. And Jim is now adding some music videos there. Those are good. I've already checked the one out. It was really cool, guys. I recommend to go check these music videos out along with the expanded presentations. And let me break really fast. We also do post all of these nets there as well. So you can go back and get caught up if you need to. All our nets will be on the YouTube channel, along with the expanded presentations and now music videos. some of those videos will link to the expanded presentations. So those expanded presentations are great, guys, because there's just so much that we can't present on these topics over the radio. It's just difficult to speak the things that we need to share. So please check those out. Let me break one last time here. The YouTube channel is the @ sign, like in an email, at prepnet-talk2me. That is the word talk with the number 2 and the word me. Again, that is at prepnet-talk2me. That'll be our YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube, you can search that at prepnet-talk2me. You'll find that YouTube channel there. And please subscribe as well, so that way you stay updated when there's new videos for you. One more break here. I'd like to thank everybody for joining the PrepNet tonight. Please come back next Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern again, and we will move on to part 2 of medical preparedness. And I'd like to thank you very much, Jim, for all the hard work you do for this net, getting the topics together, presenting them, running the email, as well as the YouTube channel. You guys, Jim does a lot of work. Thank you very much for all that, Jim. We really appreciate that. With that, we'll go ahead and turn the channel back over to regular operation. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good rest of your weekend and a good start to your week.
Great net. Enjoyed it.